The first time that I realized filmmaking for me would be more than a hobby and was what I really wanted to do with my life was I was actually in a movie theater watching a movie. I was watching The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the first Narnia movie. And that's not even particularly my favorite movie. Like, I like it a lot. But I've been raised with those books. And when I was a little kid, there was a scene that I imagined very vividly in my mind's eye of when Mr. Tumnus is walking away from the lamppost with Lucy when she first enters Narnia. And while I was watching the movie, that image came onto the screen like snowflake for snowflake, exactly how I imagined it as a kid. It was really weird. Like the most severe sense of deja vu, except like I had this memory of like what this looked like for me as a kid, and it was exactly it. And that's when I realized that, you know, whatever's in here can actually literally end up on screen. And that was the moment for me, was seeing Lucy and Mr. Tumnus walk away from the lamppost. I actually have a screenshot of that on my desktop sometimes. It's just a reminder, like, this is where it started for you. So, yeah.
Probably when I started off at Penn State as a communications major, and when I transferred to Barron, there was like one moment where I was like running around Asbury Woods, like filming a music video that was like just starring me when I was supposed to be in like class for one of my journalism classes, and I was like, this is probably indicative of what I should be doing, because I'm literally skipping school to make films, so maybe I should try to like combine the two. So that was the big like revelation.
Something that was very adventurous, something that still like had a lot of hard work, but the payoff was still good. And I just kind of did some soul searching, and you know, I either wanted to become like a freelance mechanical engineer or a video guy. And I use the video guy term loosely, but honestly, like, so far it's been a lot of adventuring, a lot of traveling, a lot of the same familiarities that I love with the, you know, kayaking and traveling East Coast and all that, and just waking up and getting up super early and getting things done. So it really came down to I just need to find a career, and like I said, I liked adventure, and I felt like film was a good way to go. I fiddled around with film, or I should say video, because it wasn't film. Video in middle school and high school, and I won some contests, and some people told me I was pretty decent at it. Not that high school videos are anything really worth watching. You'll never see them. I keep those hidden in my computer. Nobody watches those. But
some people say they want to get into filmmaking, but that's kind of like saying you want to get into magic. You know, you find whenever a guy makes this huge great illusion happen, you know, you'll sometimes be like, oh, I want to do that, because you like the feeling you get when you are fooled. But when you find out how they do that, one of two things happens. Either you are severely disappointed and you don't like magic anymore, or you love that even more. You know, that's usually what happens to people with film. It kind of depends on whether you're more impressed with like being fooled by the trick or fooling people with the trick. Writing is a big thing. Even if you're not good at it, just keep doing it. Keep writing scripts, study movies, and don't ever stop loving movies, and don't ever stop liking them. You need to be able to enjoy what you're doing, otherwise don't do something like film. Be able to enjoy it, but also treat it like real work, where you're able to keep doing it when it's not fun.
Honestly, the biggest thing I could advise someone is work on your people skills. Like, if you're not a people person or you're kind of shy, like, get to know the people around you and find out what other people are good at, because I think the people who wind up being the best filmmakers are the ones who have the best teams of people. Because, like, you're going to be really good at something, but there's people around you who are going to be better or have more to offer in a different area. And so the more you can collaborate, the better product you have, and, you know, help each other out as much as possible.
the most important lesson I learned here, honestly, is that you can only go so far as a solo team. There's some people that do it But the biggest thing is you really, and I went into this as, you know, I'm going to be a solo freelancer. I'm going to, you know, this is me. But really, if you want to make anything that's worthwhile watching, it takes a team for the most part. I mean, there are exceptions, but you really need a team. And that's one of the biggest things I've learned here at college that I don't think you'll learn on your own. You need to be able to communicate. You need to know who you're able to work with. And you need to know how to work with the people you don't want to work with. And so that's probably the number one thing I learned here at college for sure.
As far as being able to get people who want to work with you, being able to collaborate with people, it's been a lot of trial and error. Not everybody really realizes that the reason why they keep watching these movies over and over again is because of why the characters are fighting, you know, why they're blowing up the Death Star, you know. And sometimes that can be to get people to get really passionate about a situation that they can relate to their own life and be really invested in it and want to help make the world a better place or make themselves a better person. I think people want to have an emotional connection. People want to be affirmed in what they know. People do not want to be taught something that is different than what they know. But movies still affect a lot of people the same way. There's movies that tend to make people cry. There's movies that tend to make people laugh. There's movies that tend to make people afraid, because as humans, we are each unique, but we still have that common denominator of humanity. And a lot of filmmaking, the kind of films I want to make, tap into a lot of basic humanity, what we are. Every once in a while, you know, you find something that speaks to a really large group of people. And when you do that, if it's in a positive way, I think that's part of the magic of movies.